I'm rich! I just realized I have to pick this up. It's not really that much money, it's just bought. I'll just leave it there. It's the Income Octopus. It's that time of month where I reveal how much money I made. Oh, before I get into my income, I need to mention that this video is sponsored by Storyblocks.com. You can go to storyblocks.com/YouTube or click on the description in this video below. Storyblocks is a stock image site. They're offering a 7-day free trial to download all sorts of images from them. And if you're a photographer, it's a great place to upload. They've got like 400,000 images in their stock already. And from what I read, they're offering 100% commission on their photos. What other micro stock does that? As that intro indicated, it was a good month. But what that intro didn't indicate is something I want to talk about at the end of this video, and that's this industry is a roller coaster. Things go up and down, and you have good months and you have bad months, and you need to find ways to level things out. So, before I get into my income, I want you guys to know this was a peak. In fact, in every sense of the word, this was a record month. And I'm so grateful for the way last month went down. But if you've been watching this channel for a long time and you've seen a lot of these Income Octopus videos, these income report videos, you know that there's lots of down months where I don't make any money, and some months I even lose money. So you kind of just need to realize that I'm not bragging when I talk about my income today. All I'm doing is trying to be as totally honest with you guys as possible. And part of that honesty is kind of me trying to decide how much I want to reveal. Because I've kind of been going through this little battle internally recently about what do I talk about in terms of my income. This channel was built in a way to try to give you guys a behind the scenes look into the life of a travel photographer. And I think if you've been watching this channel for 18 months, you'll see how far things have come in 18 months. I've gone from struggling paycheck to paycheck 18 months ago, barely getting by, to having some pretty good times recently. But a lot of those good times come from this channel. A lot of those good times come from social media. And how much of that is realistic as a travel photographer, and how much of that is due to something completely different, like having a YouTube channel. And I thought, maybe I'll just tell them my income received from photography. But then I kind of came to this conclusion that that doesn't make sense, because it's 2017. And in 2017, a travel photographer doesn't make money solely from photography they sell. In fact, I don't think there's any type of photography anymore, or any photographer with a proper business plan anymore, that only makes their income from taking pictures or from selling pictures. I think whether you're a wedding photographer, a landscape photographer, a travel photographer, a portrait photographer, basically any kind of photographer, you should be trying to create different streams of income. And those streams of income should include social media. So I'm going to continue revealing every penny of income I earn, even if they're from sources that have nothing to do with taking the picture or selling a certain photo. So let's jump into the Income Octopus. If you're new to this channel, this next little bit might confuse you a little bit, because I'm gonna bring out Sir Jigglefoot, the Income Octopus. And Sir Jigglefoot, the Income Octopus, is kind of a reference to my theory on how you should be earning money as a photographer, especially as a freelance photographer, and that you should have multiple streams of income. You can't focus on having one type of income as a freelance photographer, because if you lose that stream, you lose everything. Whereas if you have 8 streams of income and one of those tentacles gets chopped off, you still have 7 sources of income. So I think that's really, really important. Diversify, just like you were an investor. Now the first stream of income, and I never know which way I should be pointing, I think I should be pointing this way. The first stream of income is editorial. I didn't earn any money from editorial this month. If you've been following for a long time, you know I don't chase editorial. The only time I really do editorial work anymore is if I'm contacted to do it. Editorial sales are sales made for like magazines or newspapers or TV shows, and their intention of use is for the news. So a non-commercial manner. The next sale is commercial. And commercial has kind of been my bread and butter for this past couple of years. It's kind of reliable source of income. This month's income has come from one client only. That client I've had on retainer for 2 years, I think, and it's for commercial usage. My next source of income is stock photography, and stock photography in my early years was something that really got me through the hard times. And if you're starting off in photography, doing things like submitting your images to microstock is actually a really good idea. This month I didn't earn any money from microstock, and that's just because I didn't reach the minimum payout level in my microstocks. I've been neglecting microstocks for a couple months just because I've been too busy. I did, however, make one rights managed sale on this image. And that image is going to go into a magazine, a small magazine, and I made $120 profit from that. My rights managed agent takes 50%, so the total sale would have been like 240 bucks, I guess. I will say this though. One of my plans from my time here in Chiang Mai is to get caught up on my microstock. I want to get stuff uploaded to Shutterstock again. It's been 6 months since I uploaded to them. And I think I'm going to try out Storyblocks as well. They seem like a really cool idea. I mean, most microstocks offer you like 25, 33% of a sale. They're offering 100%. So I don't know how sustainable their model is or if that'll last forever, but it's worth a try, I think, for sure. So I might give that a shot during my time here in Chiang Mai as well. My next source of income is assignments. And as you guys know, I've been on assignment like crazy for the past couple months. So the number here is beyond exaggerated. There was like a 4 or 5 month period in a row where I didn't have any assignments. And then there was like 3 months in a row that I was on assignments. And in these videos, I always show you guys the income in the month that it was received, not in the month that it was earned. So what happened this month to make this month look so exaggerated is that payouts came in from like 4 different assignments. These assignments actually happened July, August, September, and then October, and they're all paid out in October. So that's why this number is exaggerated. The total assignment income this month was $13,500, and that's just a crazy thought to me. My first year in the travel industry, working as a travel photographer and travel writer, I didn't make $13,000 the entire year. So that's how mind-boggling that number is for me, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that I did that. So I'm pretty proud of that. Pretty excited about it, but I'm trying to kind of stay level because I know that now I won't have an assignment probably for 4 more months. The next stream of income is social, and this number is exaggerated in the opposite way the assignments were because I did make some money doing some social media stuff in the month of October. I just haven't been paid out yet. That income will show up in next month or the month after that. The vlog hit a record month in October. The views are up, the minutes watched are up, the subscribers are growing phenomenally. That's awesome. And the income it's drawing in is growing as well, which is awesome. I don't do this YouTube channel to make money, but it is nice to pull $670 last month from this channel. That basically paid my rent this month and a little bit more. So I'm super thankful for you guys for watching the videos. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. I appreciate you sharing them and commenting and liking and just being awesome. You guys have just been phenomenal in this process. The blog, my travel blog, brendansadventures.com, earned $120 this month. That's just from the Google ads on the bottom. I haven't been paying any attention to my blog because I've been too busy with this YouTube channel, but it is a nice little bit of residual income that comes in every month. And finally, the 8th stream of the income octopus is miscellaneous. And basically that category is just stuff I can't really fit in anywhere else. And that income was $110 this month, and that came entirely from Amazon affiliate sales. So the grand total this month, my gross income was $15,470. And saying that out loud just doesn't make sense. You guys have to understand that at the start of this video, chucking money, it might have made it seem like I was bragging, and I am. I'm bragging. But I'm bragging in a way that's kind of like I'm bragging in shock. Like as if I was the horse nobody bet on and then I won. Or just somebody that started from nothing and then finally hit this point that they realized that they had something. It's really special to me. I left home, I left Canada with $500 in my bank account. I had $50,000 worth of debt or something stupid like that. And there was tough times. There was times where I didn't have enough money for a hotel or hostel and I slept on the beach in Brazil. There was times I couldn't afford a full meal, so I lived on ramen noodles for an entire week. There was a lot of really tough financial times. There's a million stories and I can't even fathom telling you them all. There was people that just lent me money here and there to get me through the week, from other travel bloggers to my brother to my parents to my sister to friends. There's been times I just couldn't afford to eat and I'd have to message friends and ask them to borrow 50 bucks. And so I'm super grateful to those people. And it's not me getting me here. It was all those people. So it's a pretty special moment right now thinking about how far I've come and how far this has all come. And I don't want to make this seem braggy, but I am bragging. Because anyway, enough emotion. Let's get into how much money I spent. Now, I always say you can't talk about your income until you talk about your spending. My spending is broken down into 5 categories. And just like my income, I talk about the money I actually spent that month. Even if I pay for rent 6 months in advance, I talk about it that month. So this is money I actually spent during the month of October. I spent $620 on accommodation in the month of October, and actually it's not high. It's especially low actually, because I didn't actually spend hardly any money in October on accommodation. I was on workshops, I was on assignments, I was staying with Jody's parents, I was sleeping in my car. And so I didn't really spend very much at all in the month of October on accommodation. That money is for this apartment. I spent that money in October for the month of November. This apartment cost like $400, so there's really only like $200 something in accommodation spending in the month of October, which is awesome. But for the sake of this video, that number is $620. The transport numbers are high, if not exaggerated, because there was flights again for the future. So my total transport costs were $2,154 this month. That includes flights to get to Kuala Lumpur, flights to get from Kuala Lumpur to Chiang Mai, and flights that I'm going to be taking in December to get from here to LA. I'll be spending the month of December in the southwest of the US as well as Mexico, and I've already booked the flights ahead for those trips. So the numbers there are a bit exaggerated. For food, I spent $635. And a lot of that was spent in Iceland. Iceland's just so expensive that even though a part of our tour, breakfasts and dinners were included, lunches and snacks in Iceland were very expensive. It cost me like $25, $30 a day just for one meal a day in Iceland. So it was expensive, and then there was some food throughout the way in England as well. So that number's kind of high. It's definitely going to be higher than it is here in Thailand, even though it was only like a couple weeks. So the next leg of the income octopus is business, and in business this month, I spent $1,200 even on business this month, and that's a high number. 2 filter holders, one that I lost, one that launched off a cliff in Iceland, and then the rest was me paying a video editor. You remember that Top Deck travel I did in Norway in, I guess that was June? Well, the client finally paid me this past month, and I paid my video editor. So a big chunk of that is video editing, a big chunk is filter holders, and then the rest is little bits and pieces like website hosting and stuff like that. And finally, personal. And the personal, I spent $360 this month. When I talk personal, it's clothing, it's parking tickets. I had 1 parking ticket and 1 speeding ticket in England this month. So that was $360. And that's about it. That's my total spending for the month of October. My total spending was $4,829, which means that between my gross and my spending, I saw a profit of over $10,000 this month, which is just phenomenal. I managed to pay off $5,000 worth of my student loan this month, which is incredible, which means that if I have a couple more good months, the debts will be gone and I'll be completely debt-free, and that'll be amazing, amazing. Now, as usual, I kind of like to end these videos with a little bit of advice. advice. And this kind of gets back to what I was talking about at the start of the video. If you're a travel photographer, or if you're a wedding photographer, if you're a landscape photographer, if you're a photographer and you're hoping to turn photography into your business, you have to start thinking about building yourself as a brand. That's the difference between being a photographer in 2017 and being a photographer in 1997. In 1997, newspapers, magazines, agencies were hiring photographers to go out in the world and shoot for them. They were paid salaries. And to be honest, they kind of had ceilings themselves, the max they were gonna ever make as a photographer. These days, magazines aren't hiring people. Newspapers are laying off all staff photographers. Agencies are kind of becoming a thing of the past as well. So you kind of have to decide if you're content just making your money off of photos, or if you want to build a brand around yourself that you can sell as well. And there's kind of a difference in growth potential between the two. If you're totally happy being a wedding photographer your entire life and shooting weddings and constantly making the same income year after year and maybe having a little bit of growth because you become better or because you become more desired amongst clients, that's great. But if you're thinking about growing and shooting for the stars and becoming a business, you need to start thinking outside the box. You need to start thinking about social media. You need to start thinking about YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and whatever other social media rolls out. If you're neglecting the social media aspect of photography, you're limiting your growth potential. And I know that social media seems daunting. I know that at times it seems silly. I know that at times it seems absolutely ridiculous. But you still need to try to focus your energy on it, or at least some of your focus on it. So I guess that's my tip for today. Don't worry so much about selling photos. Worry more about building your brand and building your name recognition. That's just as important as chasing down clients and as pitching clients and doing all that stuff. And I guess that's it for today's episode. Thanks again to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. Having sponsors like that to this channel make it possible for me to continue making these videos. So a big thanks to them. And if you guys are interested, be sure to go check them out. There's a link in the description of this video to Storyblocks for you to go check them out. And if you're interested in getting some images from them, there's a 7-day free trial as well, which is awesome. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, where I'm gonna start showing you guys life here in Thailand. It's been crazy so far. It's just been perfect so far, to be honest. And I guess I'll see you guys there. Peace.